What's up? Black men embody God when they master their carnality. Now, when we think about carnality, we think about that just primitive desire of a human. And when that primitive desire of a human, which is your what you eat, your sexual desire, things of that nature, your lower vibrational self that lacks control and just has those desires and they just go out there and you just keep trying to fulfill those desires. That's your lower self, that's your lower vibrational self, that's your lower mind, that's your more human and animalistic type mind. And when a man can master that, that's when he steps into embodying God. And one thing I had to understand is you should never try to separate yourself from God. And the only time we really see God is when it's embodied through a human being, through character, through how we act, through what we do. And when we think about the nature of who God is, what is God? God is a creator, right? And the black man is a creator. And when you get away from your lower mind of lust, sex, not controlling what you eat, when you get away from things like that and you have healthy eating habits, you control your sexual energy, you know how to control your emotions, you know how to control yourself overall entirely. That's when you embody who God is, because you can direct yourself to what you need to do to get better. You can create what you need to create as a man, and you're not controlled. Anytime you're not in control, you're a slave, which means somebody is your master. And your master could be another man. Your master can be your fleshly desires and your carnal desires. Anytime you're not in control of yourself, you embody a slave. Anytime when you decide to control yourself and you decide to do what you want to do and you decide to live how you want to live and you decide to be the man that you want to be, you step into the essence of who God is. And I think that a lot of people try to separate it, like God is so far away and God is way over there and God is going to make you better in some way, when in reality I'm not suggesting the idea that you are God. But what I'm saying is when you are fully in tune with who you are, you embody God, right? And that's the important thing to understand. And that's so logical, that makes so much sense, because we don't see God in a spiritual form. We see God in a uh we see God in a physical form. We see God in the form of a human being. And that doesn't mean God is just a distinct man that's way over there and he's a person you can really see. No, that means you have to act out on who you are. You have to act in tune with who you are. God is a creator. Anytime you create, you embody God. And I think as a black man, that's one thing we severely lack, because we have a history where we were taken out of our creative mind. We were taken away from using our mind. And we were just slave laborers. And I think that that's what we see a lot of in the black community. We see a lot of black men who are slaves. They're slaves to the carnal desires. They're slaves to another man, and they're just overall not using their mind. And I think that that's the real problem we have with a lot of black men. We have black men who are just okay with things. They don't want to go out and try to do things that they want to do. Anytime you compromise yourself and you say, man, I just can't do it, I can't do that, and that's not possible, and I just like doing this every day because it feel good. Yeah, you're a slave. And in a lot of ways you're evil, because you're not allowing yourself to step into who you really are as a man. Because there's a lot of men who they're just okay with things and they don't believe in themselves. That's also a bad thing, that we don't believe in ourselves. We think we can't do that. We think that's not possible. When you limit yourself, God is limitless. There's nothing that God can't do. So when you step all the way in tune with who you are as a black man, and you say, "Oh, I can do anything in this world. I want to make something happen. It's gonna happen. I got this desire. I'm gonna make it happen." Yeah, you're embodying God, because God is limitless. So you have to embody that you're limitless, that nothing can stop you, that you have full control over your life, that you are creator, right? What's evil and what's demonic is when you're a slave to sex. It's when you're a slave to um you have a bad eating habit, when you're a slave to just eating food and not controlling yourself and not eating healthy. You're a slave when you have a dream in your life and you want to do something in your life and you want to be a certain way as a man, but you say, "Oh, I don't believe in myself." Does God believe in himself? Doesn't God have the ultimate power? So you have to embody that. You have to embody that. I'm not saying you are God, but I'm saying you embody God when you step into the mentality of creating, being in control, and believing in yourself. That's the true essence of you embodying God. And that's how we've always seen God, when they were embodied by another human being. When they were embodied by a human being, by what God created. God created human beings. God created us to embody him. And that's the thing we have to understand. And with black men, we have this mentality a lot of the times where we feel inferior. We feel like we can't do nothing. We don't have a purpose. We don't believe in ourselves. And we live in a society where they want us to believe that too. The white man wants us to believe that too. The it's structured that way for us not to have that for ourselves, right? And so the thing is, when you step into the mentality of I can do anything, and my I can our community can do anything. The black people are strong. The black people are powerful. We don't have to try to look like the white man. We don't have to try to look like the white woman. We don't have to try to act like the 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 white woman or the white man. We don't have to be part of their culture. We can create our own culture. We can have our own culture. We can have our own beauty standards. We can have complete sovereignty over each other because we embody God. We are in tune with who we are. When you have one of these whitewashed black people, yeah, that's demonic. They're not being themselves. They hate themselves. In a lot of ways, when you don't believe in yourself, that's demonic. That's evil. That's actually evil when you don't believe in yourself, because you're not allowing yourself to embody God. That's something that's very powerful. And we have to get away from black people who are whitewashed, who they hate themselves, they hate the black community. They want to just kiss up and be a bootlicker to the white woman and the white man. You have to get away from that, right? Love yourself. And when you love yourself as a black man, you're gonna love the black woman. You're gonna love your fellow black man. You're gonna love the youth, the black children, and you're gonna love your community entirely. And you're gonna want the best for them over everybody else, because that's you. Pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.